I am here with one of my close friends. I think I say this every single time I have a guest on, but I actually mean it. Kelsey Crane! Woo!
Oh my gosh, I finally made it. I am a loyal fan to the Close Friends List podcast.
An OG close friend.
Yes.
So Kelsey, tell the listeners about yourself.
My name is Kelsey, and I am 21, turning 22 in a month. And I go to Western Washington University in Bellingham. I just transferred there. I'm super into like musicals, and I'm a choir girl at heart. My Maddie and high school friends know this. I'm studying sociology, and me and Maddie are just the thick girls of Seattle.
Yes, two thick queens.
The thick girls of Kirkland.
The thick queens of the Pacific Northwest. We're thick and water safety queens. So Kelsey and I have known each other since high school, but we actually recently reconnected by working together at the swim school. The swim school that we work at is in a mall. And I happened to see her a lot at Starbucks, and she was like, hey, like, why are you at Starbucks all the time? And I was like, it's because I work at this new swim school that's opening up. And then she was like, wait, I'm trying to get a different job. Like, I fucking hate it here at Starbucks.
And so it just kind of happened like naturally. I applied there right after talking to her, and I heard back the next day. And so it all just kind of fell into place. And now we've been there I've been there for less time than her, but it's been about a year. I'm like still technically employed there, even though I go to school in Bellingham now. So we'll just say I'm still with them.
But it was such a good time. We both taught babies how to swim, and it's just so fun. Kelsey, do you want to give us a little preview of what your singing voice is like? Kelsey has a beautiful opera voice that she can showcase to us all.
Well, I'm a little hoarse right now because I have seasonal allergies, but I'll try. Hopefully it doesn't quake the microphone. So how about I do a little opera note for wet ass pussy?
Yes, please do.
I'm
please
shy
do.
now. Okay. That's a wet ass pussy.
Honestly, you should do a remix. I feel like it would go viral if you sang opera for this wet ass pussy.
I think Cardi B would really enjoy that.
She would honestly repost it. Like her and Megan Thee Stallion would be like, who's this thick queen that's singing WAP? From the top,
make it pop.
But yeah, so Kelsey and I know each other from high school, and wow, are we different. I mean, I don't even really think we interacted much in high school.
Yeah, like we were in the select choir together called Lyrica. So we were kind of acquaintances, I would say, back then. Like, we had mutual friends, and like obviously we're in choir together. We even embarked NYC together, sang in beautiful Carnegie Hall, but we weren't close really. And so we really reconnected when we both started working at the same place this past summer. We are always go back to our Queen Heidi Menzenberg's Vilna from choir.
I was honestly scared of you in high school because you were like a skinny popular girl. I was like, I stay away from those kinds of people.
Honestly, when I think back on high school, I'm like, who was she? Like, definitely, like, me and Maddie have connected on how much we've changed since high school. You probably noticed she said I was skinny. It's a little bit scary to think that I once was skinny. Yeah, I played volleyball in high school, like competitive volleyball, so I was always in super good shape. But now I will always be true to Thicklandia. Thicklandia is my home.
When did we come up with Thicklandia? I can't remember. You came up with it.
No, I think you did.
Are you sure?
I remember we were really big about it like this past winter because my friend, one of my best friends, Heather, who I met at Western, she's actually from Australia. She is another thick queen of ours, but she started the Thicklandia Instagram, So I feel like it became like more of a big thing then, and we put it in like our Tinder bios. We were kind of the talk of Tinder. I like, if you saw Maddie on Tinder or me on Tinder, it'd always say like Thicklandia. And
Yeah, so we would both say Thicklandia, and literally guys would be like, can I get a threesome with Thicklandia?
yeah, they'd be like, are you the other girl from Thicklandia?
Like people would recognize us together.
Yeah, we honestly like had to be careful because we would talk to the same guys and we'd be like, wait, are you talking to this guy? And we kind of look at each other's matches because they just wanted a piece of Thicklandia.
I don't think we've ever actually been with the same guy though, thank God. But I have been with the same guy as one of our old coworkers, Jackie. And she like knows this story.
Oh yeah. Oh my
So
God.
literally I went on a few dates with this guy, and I was telling Jackie about it because we always like kept up with like who we're seeing and stuff. It's also nice to keep up with your girlfriends on who they're dating because one, you don't want to date the same guy on accident at the same time, and two, it's good to know like who's out there that you should watch out for. I always tell people like, if you see this guy, do not go out with him. Like I always want to look through people's matches to see like, oh, have I talked to any of them?
Yeah,
Like,
you got to keep out for those Tinder veterans, you know, because like if you're off
Tinder veterans.
if you're off Tinder for a while and then you get back on, it's always the same people that were on there before.
So if you're out there and you have like a girl squad, a girlfriend group, just keep up with each other's like matches on Tinder, Bumble, whatever the fuck, because it's really important. So Jackie was talking to me. She was like, have you been dating anybody? And I was like, yeah, I went on a couple dates with this dude. And I was telling her about him. And I was like, the best part is he's 6'7". And like, that's a very specific height, a height that one doesn't come around that often. And so she was like, wait. I feel like I'm doing such a good impression of her right now. She was like, wait, who? And then we like literally, I pulled up a picture of him and we were both screaming because she was like, I went on a couple dates with him and he ghosted me.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. And thankfully I got permission from her to like see him. She was like, oh, I'm definitely not talking with him anymore. And I was like, okay, cool. So like you can see the same guy and be cool about it, I guess.
You don't want to be unknown Eskimo sisters.
Yes. Oh my God. That'd be so funny.
I can't believe he was 6'7" though. Wow. Usually we get lucky with 5'7" because everyone lies.
I know.
I know. Maddie and I have that in common. We're both thick queens and we're both tall. I think I'm about 5'9". She's like 5'10". So it's really important for us, you know, when we're going to go on this Tinder date, that the man's is taller. And, you know, I think she has this issue as well as me, but
I literally have it all the time.
yeah. One of the first things you ask is, you know, how tall are you? Yeah. And they're like, yeah, you know, I'm like 5'11". Ladies, if he's 5'11", he's 5'7".
Yes. We always have to take like 3 inches off whatever they tell us.
The 7-Eleven rule. I'll call it that.
Yes.
But
7-Eleven
I remember
rule.
one of the first guys I met up with when I transferred to Western. We had been talking for a little bit. And he was like, yeah, I'm 5'8". And I was like, okay, like that's fine. That's just like an inch shorter, because he was really cute. And so he picked me up, and of course he knew like I was a little taller. He gets out of his car, and I literally swear I was like looking at an Oompa Loompa. Like he literally was like 5'5".
Oh,
and I was like, dude, you said you were 5'8". Like we should be level-headed. And he was like, no, I swear I'm 5'8". I was like, dude, come on. Like, just be honest. Embrace the short king, you know?
Yes. Is height a deal breaker for you?
Honestly, no, because my current boyfriend is shorter than me.
He is?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I had no idea.
About an inch, I would say.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, I honestly, like, I used to think it was a big deal, but I've kind of gotten over that, because if I have like a romantic connection or just like, you know, any kind of connection with someone, I don't want to limit being with them just because they're shorter.
Yeah.
And, you know, so I kind of was just like, you know what? I'm vibing with this guy. I'm just going to go for it. Like, who cares what people say? Like, I'm a soc major, so like human interactions is like a big thing of what I study. So for me, it's like society wants you to feel like the girl has to be shorter and that the guy needs to be taller. So I kind of just want to say like, fuck you to social norms, because,
yes.
yeah, my current boyfriend, he's like 5'7", 5'8" maybe. And I really like him, so I don't really care that he's a little shorter. So we just play that Short King's Anthem by Cody Co, Noel Miller and Black Bear, and we just go on with our day. There's more problems in the world that we can focus on.
What are some social norms or unpopular opinions that you have?
Oh, man.
So many.
I know. I think a big thing for me, I've also taken a lot of like gender and sexuality classes within my sociology degree. And I find that very interesting with social norms. Like, for example, just talking about gender. Are there really just two genders, female and male? Of course, like now there's non-binary and some other ones. I need to educate myself more.
Same, I wouldn't know any of them.
And a lot of it, just when you really study it, you realize it's all just made up. Like, it's all just bullshit. And I think it's really important to like know, especially now with like in this political climate, within like, oh, being Democrat or being conservative, it all kind of comes with like those social norms within your beliefs. I think like usually more conservative people are religious, or like more democratic people aren't religious. There's just kind of like societal norms and pressures within that. And I think it's really important to break those because, for example, like you can be gay and believe in God. There's so many different types of people. But besides that, another big thing for me is shaving as being a female. Mm-hmm. I think that it's kind of bullshit that you, as a female, you have to feel like you have to shave your legs before you go out if you wear shorts. Feel like you have to shave your armpits if you're going to the beach or wearing a tank top, or even just like shaving your pubes. Like, your vagine. Your vagine. Like, why do we do this? Do we do it for our own enjoyment? Like, if you're doing it for your own enjoyment, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But for me, like, I would be shaving just for another person, like for a man I was with, or because my mom thought it was gross that I didn't shave my legs in a couple weeks. And I've honestly just like embraced that about myself, and I don't really care if people think it's gross. I don't really shave anymore because I get like, for me, under my armpits, if I shave my armpits, I get like really bad sores on them. If I shave my legs, I cut the fuck out of my leg.
Yes, when you cut your ankle, I literally want to die.
I know. Why do I have to go through all that pain and pressure just because society says I have to as a woman? So I think it's really interesting to explore that about breaking gender norms and just what society has to say. So I hope other women or female presenting individuals will feel empowered to not have to shave if they don't want to.
Love that.
Yes.
Honestly, I've been feeling that lately. I think being around people like you have really encouraged me, only do what makes you happy. Like, why would you do that because you feel like you have to? Or even just something simple. I used to wear a shit ton of makeup. Like, I used to wear full face like all the time. And I honestly didn't know how to put on makeup. And I also would break out because I wore makeup, but I also felt so ugly if I didn't have makeup. And that has been something that I have given up as a woman, is I'm like, I don't have to wear makeup to feel beautiful. I think that the most beautiful part about me is that I'm just myself. Yeah. And I think that something that people are attracted to me is not because of my looks. It's because of my personality and who I am and the energy that I give off. I mean, I'm like a kind person. I'm outgoing. Those are more important to me than what I look like on the outside. And so I personally, as a woman, hate wearing makeup. So why would I put that myself through that and put on a full face of makeup every day? Totally. So I think that there are some things that, maybe you're like, I like shaving, or maybe you're like, I love wearing makeup, like Kelsey loves wearing makeup, and, that's great. Like, do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
And also, I've talked about this before too, but the pressure of being married and having kids and having that in a certain time frame, I think it can be ridiculous. I think for me, I want to learn how to be happy by myself and don't feel pressured to get married. Maybe a part of that is that I'm not a virgin.
Cannot relate.
We can talk about that later. Yeah, just like not having those pressures. And I literally saw this post the other day on Instagram of this woman who said, just because I don't want kids, that doesn't make me less of a woman. And not following the social pressures of what it means to be a woman doesn't make you less of a woman.
In relation to that, like speaking on like, you know, social norms within like wearing makeup, like Maddie said, she used to wear a lot of makeup in high school. I honestly don't remember that. I thought she looked good, but I'll take her word on it. But I've seen photos of like back in high school of her and me, and we loved that Anastasia dip brow, honey. Like we had
the Sharpie brow,
the block brows. Honestly, who let us do that?
Who?
I'd like to personally shout out Colin Hesson. I'm really offended that you didn't tell us not to do that.
Yes, Colin Heston. And then also I always blame Kia because I've known Kia the longest, and Kia's like the most honest friend in my life. And I'm like, Kia, how did you allow me to look this way?
And also the fact that people would literally compliment my brows back then, like,
fools.
I'm offended.
I'm offended.
But
my 2020 self is offended.
Don't worry, our brows are better now. I remember like in high school, I felt like I had to do a full face of makeup some days because a lot of my close friends know I struggle with the OCD disorder of trichotillomania.
Can you talk about what that is?
Yeah, so I'm just going to do a self-definition for how it looks with me. But it's basically in times of anxiety or stress or just having a hard mental health day, it's the urge to pull out your hair. So, for example, if I'm really anxious in an uncomfortable situation, I pull out the hair on top of my head, my eyebrows, and my eyelashes. I've had that since I was 12. So in high school, you know, I really felt like I had to fit in and look beautiful. And without natural eyebrows or natural eyelashes, that was really hard. Like there were times where I was late to class because I felt like I had to put on a full face of makeup. So I literally like skip the beginning of school and like put on falsies, put on, you know, the block brows. But I felt like I had to in order to look good. And it impacted my academics and impacted my social life because whenever I talked to someone, I felt like they could see like the missing hair or, you know, if one day I didn't wear makeup, I literally just felt like an egg. Like I just felt like I couldn't fit in, I guess. And that's also something I've embraced. If I have no natural eyebrows, I don't really give a fuck. If someone asks, I'll just be honest. Like, and I've met a lot of people who have the same disorder that I do, and it's really cool to connect with people like that. So you just have to embrace like who you are. You know, I'll go out with no brows, no lashes. It's just me, you know. So I've embraced the no makeup Kelsey, but I do love doing a full glam every now and then.
Yeah. Let's talk about our journey in becoming thick. So we literally spent our skinny years thinking we were fat, aka high school. I don't even really know how I feel about the word fat and skinny and like all that stuff. I mean, obviously those are just like words to describe our bodies, but just like the thoughts that come behind it. Definitely was more insecure in high school. I think Kelsey and I both can like agree that since being out of high school, we have really embraced our bodies and who we are. I read a quote once on this podcast where it was, my body is whole and it serves me in the way that it needs to. All of my limbs work. Like I'm just grateful to have a body that works for me. And for me personally, and I will not use the word weight issues ever again, but I don't know how to describe it. I guess just like being a little more thick is just a part of my DNA. A lot of my family members and like my line of history and my family is that we are, you know, normally just like a little bit heavier. I mean, my brother, he has to work really hard. Like anyone in my family that wants to be thinner has to work really hard at it. And sometimes like for me, that's just not a healthy place for me to be in a spot where I'm constantly working out or be in a spot where I'm constantly, thinking about what I'm going to eat throughout the day and like making that my everyday battle is just not something that I'm willing to do anymore. I do want to offer a trigger warning that we will be talking about eating disorders in this section because Kelsey did struggle with that a bit, but I think that her sharing her story would be important. So Kelsey, do you want to share about that?
Yeah, so going off of what Maddie said, I mean, kind of tying into what we've been talking about with like societal norms. Oh my God, I feel like I've been saying that so much. But
it's a great word to use.
Society and the media, especially growing up with social media being such a big part of our lives, society tells us that we have to be skinny to fit in, that we have to be skinny to be beautiful, and that we have to be skinny to be someone.
And also we were talking about how being curvy is more the trend, but it's like nobody's gonna be curvy like the Kardashians or the Jenners. Like for them, they have flat stomachs, fat ass, like fat tit. Even just the societal norm of being curvy looks different now too.
Yeah, like slim thick. For example, like you'll see this a lot on dating apps. You kind of mention like, oh yeah, I'm thick. Like a lot of dating apps will ask your body type. So a lot of the times I'll just put like curvy, or, I'll put thicklandia up in the bio.
My bio right now is I'm probably taller and thicker than you.
Oh my God, I love that. Part of that is like feeling like you have to disclose that information. And also these men say they want a thick girl, but then like say that you're too thick because they want the unachievable type of Kylie Jenner or Kim Kardashian. And it's like, okay, so you want a thick girl until she has a little bit of tummy or, cellulite on the back of her thighs, the double chin. When will this stop, sir? Like, okay, you say you want a thick girl all until, you meet up and you got a little tummy. Like, that's what the package is. You get the tummy, you get the thighs, you get the double chin. And that's like what makes us beautiful and empowered. It's just life. We're just fucking human, man. But anyways, so yeah, I was very thin. I kind of spoke on this a little bit earlier. In high school, I played sports. And I just remember all throughout high school just being so focused on being thin. I literally would stare at my stomach in the mirror for like hours after school. And I was terrified to eat after school and during school. I think during the times when I struggled with anorexia, I was 16 until about 17. I would eat probably like a Pop-Tart for the whole day. And I also want to disclose anorexia looks different in a lot of people. So a lot of anorexic people still eat, but very little. So you can still be anorexic if you eat a little.
It'll look different. Like most people, when they think of anorexia, they think you don't eat, period.
Yeah, like zero food. Yeah, I would eat like one Pop-Tart. That was it. That's not how you fuel a body that's doing anything, like period. But I was doing, school all day, choir performances, working out, doing volleyball. And I would just look at my stomach in the mirror. I was scared to like go home and eat food because I knew like if I ate, then I would risk putting on weight. So yeah, there was a time where I just was like very sick and I began to actually like pass out because I was so like malnourished and I felt so dizzy from being like so hungry. But at that point, you don't really feel hungry anymore. You're just kind of like, yeah, this is how it is. I passed out and my mom called the ambulance and they said to her, we took her vitals. Do you think she could be anorexic? Because they're like really low and she's very thin. And my mom was just like, there's no way. Like, what? And I remember I told her, no, I'm not. That's crazy. Why would they think that? I was literally eating like a Ritz cracker for the whole day. So it became so bad that like literally I was passing out, and thank God I actually never got like official help. But once I turned late 17, 18, my senior year of high school, I just kind of like stopped caring, and I just embraced that I was going to be bigger if I didn't starve myself, because my family is kind of thicker, so it's kind of in our blood.
Same here.
And it's like I had a fear of becoming that. So I stopped starving myself and I put on a lot of weight. And with weight gain comes like shame, and I felt like really bad about myself. But further on into college, you know, I am a thick queen now. I'd rather be a little bigger than literally starving myself every day and like obsessing over how flat my stomach was in the mirror, or worrying about what I looked like or what people thought of me. 'Cause that honestly like filtered out the assholes. Like, I'm so thankful for everyone in my life, and I try to like spread body positivity to other people, because I think a lot of people struggle with this, especially like as a female in today's society. But I am a bigger girl and I'm proud of it. But I'm not trying to diss skinny people, because obviously like a lot of people can't help how their body size is. But being thicker, which is like how my body is supposed to be, honestly, rather than when I was skinny, aka like starving myself, it's just better. And I don't have to worry about what I eat in a day, or like hardcore working out. Like, of course you can still be healthy and be thicker, and that's not what people realize. So I'm a much healthier version of myself.
I loved that video that Lizzo came out with, where she showed how she works out every day and all the time. And just because she looks heavier does not mean that she's not healthy. Like, for me, I will eat so healthy in a day and it takes forever for me to lose a pound. But that's okay. As long as I feel good about what I'm putting in my body, then that's okay. Like, sometimes I feel like absolute crap. Like, I literally just ate Taco Bell and I'm like, ugh. And so, you know, instead of eating that crap, I need to remember, like, that doesn't make my body feel good. What makes my body feel good is eating like more healthier foods, natural foods, like salads and fruits and things like that. And of course, like, I love my carbs. Oh my God. Carbs is what gets me. But, you know, just thinking of it that way, like, I'm not going to obsess over these things, but I'm going to remember what makes me feel good. And I think that letting go of pressures on yourself and understanding that no one in this life is going to be as critical towards yourself than you, and learning how to love yourself. And that's a journey that everybody has to go on individually. I mean, we can give you all the advice in the world on how to better love yourself, but at the end of the day, the only person that truly knows that is you, and nobody in this life is going to love you better than you can.
In the wise words of RuPaul, if you don't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love somebody else? Can I get an amen?
Amen. Oh my God, I fucking love RuPaul Drag Race.
Thank you, Mama Ru.
Yes. But yeah, there's just so much freedom when you just release that tension and that anxiety of feeling the pressure to be and look a certain way. Something that I've shared before, and I know that you do this too, is I just have to change what I look at, right? And sometimes you even have to change who's in your life. Like, I literally had a friend in my life. She was like one of my best friends throughout high school. And I literally had to stop being friends with her because I was like, she keeps making hurtful comments about my body and about my weight. And I couldn't handle it anymore. And I would correct her so often, be like, hey, stop saying that to me. You're not a safe person for me anymore. And so I only allow like safe people in my life. And another thing that I do is I try to follow the thick queens of Instagram and TikTok and all that. Kelsey's always sending me TikTok. She's like, look at this girl in her bathing suits. And I'm like, oh, I love it. It's so good to see people who have bodies that look like mine.
Yeah, I love the community of thick women, curvy girls. It's really important to have that environment and that support. I think my TikTok knows I'm thick because I always get the thick girls and like finding good shops. Although
Thick Friendly store.
Shein is canceled now.
Yes, Shein was a Thick Friendly store, but they're canceled because they're racist.
Yeah.
But they've made a lot of mistakes.
But I'll always send those to Maddie because I'm like, oh my God, look at this girl. She looks so good. Similar body types. And it's really nice to know that there's people out there like us, because there are. It's just that the media is like, you must be skinny.
Yeah. I want to see people that look like me so that I feel better about myself, if that makes sense. That's like so lame, but it's true. Like, it really does help. Okay, Kelsey, let's play a game where we go through thick or non-thick friendly.
Oh my God.
Low-rise jeans. Non-thick friendly.
Yeah, not thick friendly at all. You know, us thick girls, we need those mom jean high rise.
Yes, that hold in this tummy.
Yeah. Oh my God. I don't think I've ever worn a low rise jean, even in my skinny days.
I definitely wore low-rise yoga pants.
That honestly makes me nervous.
Yeah. I posted on my close friends list once, like, one of our friends, Julia, she was like, did you guys see that low-rise jeans are coming back? And I literally posted, I was like, if any of you hoes start wearing low-rise jeans, I know where you stand with us thicks. You are a non-thick friendly person.
I'm honestly scared of low-rise jeans.
Me too.
Why? I'm scared.
Yeah.
Like, they look good, but it's just not supporting the thick community.
Yeah.
No. Really. It's whatever. You can wear what you want. But yeah, they are not thick friendly. We do not stand low-rise jeans. Oh my God.
Brandy Melville. Non-thick friendly.
Okay. I literally just had a flashback. I bought a Brandy Melville shirt in high school. I know. I'm sorry. Like, I was skinny back then, and then it was literally one size fits all, and I was like browsing the section. I was like, wait, what? They don't have like other sizes? Like, who the fuck does that?
One size fit all is bullshit.
One size fits like maybe my big toe. I was saying to Maddie, I was like, okay, Brandy Melville is just not realistic. Like, I think I could barely fit like one big toe into a pair of their pants or like their shirts. Like, I just can't with them. It's just not thick friendly. Also, it's not body friendly at all. Yeah. Like, even when I was literally like 150 pounds, that shit did not fit. So, Brandy Melville, you got some explaining to do.
Compacts parking spots, non-thick friendly.
No. You know, if you're a thick girl and you park somewhere and, you know, you're in the lines and you have to get out and you can fit like your foot out the door and then you have to like scoot your ass and tummy out.
My butt almost broke several side mirrors of cars. Like, just my ass alone.
I feel that. Sometimes I feel like my ass cheeks are going to swallow the mirrors and just like break the glass when it goes against the car window. But we do not stand a compact car parking spot.
And that's all the time that we have for today's episode, but just wait for next week. We do have a part 2 of my conversation with Kelsey, and it's even more juicier than today was. It's as juicy as we are. Thank you for listening to today's episode of the Close Friends List podcast. These episodes go live every single Friday, so you can follow us on any podcasting platforms or subscribe, whichever fits the platform. You can also subscribe to us on YouTube, follow on Instagram at the Close Friends List, and just keep up with everything going on. Reminder that we do have our book club episode coming out. We're reading Untamed by Glennon Doyle right now. Haley and I are going to recap that on the podcast in October, so I just want to make sure that all the lit listeners get an opportunity to read that book and be a part of the recap with us. Thank you so much for listening today. I love you all, and have a great weekend.